Years it looked like they started.
We're live from the Utica Curling Club, finals of the U.S. Open Curling Championship. I'm Steve Brown, and I welcome you to our coverage today. This is really fantastic that Doug Smith has come out here and set up the web streaming, and we hope that we can pick up a pretty good audience throughout the day here. In my cohort here, Mr.
Dave Palazzoli. Thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here with both of you.
Dave and I go back a long ways together. Probably too long to talk about, right, Dave?
Well, at some point I'll tell them about the 91 USA Finals here in Utica that Steve Brown was on the winning team, but that's for a different story.
A lot of people feel fortunate that club burned down, but I have very good sentimental value about that old facility.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Me and myself as well.
Okay, we are in the first end. USA lost the coin flip. And because we do not have time restraints here, or we do have time restraints, we don't have time for the draw shot challenge and stuff. And both these teams were equal. They were both number 2 in their pools. So we did not have a clear ranking position, so that's why we went to the coin flip in this game. So Korea won that coin flip. USA chose Blue Rocks. So we are into the second stones now. Jimmy Jam Joseph playing second for the Team USA here. Jimmy's from the Utica Curling Club, and he's probably the role model for wheelchair curling across the world. The most popular athlete there probably is in wheelchair curling.
Well, we sure are proud of him. That goes without saying. And to know how far he's come in the few years he's curled, and at the level that he can compete, it's just amazing. Very envious of that.
Now, I'd love to introduce the 4 members of the Korean team, but I think it's going to suffice to say that we got Korea lead, Korean second, Korean third, and Korean skip. And I'm not going to take a stab at the names. But that team has played very, very well. All 3 Korean teams have been outstanding this week. And it's fantastic that Korea brought 3 teams over here to the U.S. Open, as well as we got basically a team and a half of Switzerland here as well this week. And some Canadian teams, and then we got like 4 squads of U.S., so it's been fantastic.
Did Korea get much practice in? Did they get here earlier on in the week?
They played in several competitions actually leading up to this. They've been in Vancouver and Ottawa, so they've been on the road a long time. They have quite a contingency. They have something like 20 people in their traveling squad. So he had basically a wide open takeout and a chance to hit and flip behind the guard. He wrecked in the guard, did push the other USA rock into the house, but there's a good chance that rock will not be a factor in the end because the red rock of Korea's did roll over to outcount them. So Jimmy Jam trying to throw up a guard here. Like it to cross over the center line, just about 6-8 inches.
Well, it's looking pretty good. You know, in some ways I find playing second in Jimmy's position, it's really difficult. You have to go from a bullet takeout to delicate guard. And, you know, traditionally a second is kind of a house cleaner. But every once in a while he has to make this finesse shot, and you just have to have your head in it.
You really do. And I mean, free guard zone goes back a long ways now, many, many years. But that was one of the greatest things that curling ever did, I think, was the free guard zone, because it makes the lead and second positions just so much more dynamic in the team. They both have to have the ability to make the cute draws, but they both got to be able to throw the takeout weights and multiple takeout weights. So, but second is really obviously a very key position. Okay, Korea trying a little double. So Jimmy's rock, the disadvantage, he's temporarily laying 1 and 2, but when you go into the house at tight, gives Korea a chance to do just what they did. So that was a really nice shot. You would grade that very high.
Well, we did get a hang. One of the blue stones did hang on around the 10 o'clock position, which may or may not be at an advantage later on in the end, depending how it turns out. But speaking of the free guard zone you're talking about, it turned it into a chess game.
It really has.
It turned it into a chess game, and that's the fun of this game, is the strategy.
It's been a great learning week for all of our USA squad. We basically have we have our 8 high-performing athletes that qualified here, and they're playing on 2 teams. But we have the luxury here. We're very relaxed with our rules, so we've been able to actually intermingle the 2 teams, so everybody's getting a chance to play.
Pat McDonald's kind of very, very nice.
Like to see this cross just a little more, get a little flip behind the guard. Very well done. Like to roll about 6 more inches. Still gives Korea a crack at, they can see probably almost 100% of that stone. So they like to hit and just kind of flip into the center line area, into the house, or they go all the way across and stay in. Still a great shot there. Nice little hit and roll.
Almost has the angle where a wide hit by Korea might cause a jam, so that there's always that concern. Always making it be just that extra bit of careful, which sometimes comes into play nicely.
So Korea 2 here played Korea 1 in the semifinal game, and they built up a very substantial lead, but then Korea 1 did come back with a forehand to make the game interesting. But Korea 2 was able to hang on. Is this rock, he's going to roll out, or it might come over for the backing? Oh, that hurt them.
Yeah. It's always the danger when you just get that little bit more to worry about. What's the name? I don't have my team list in front of me. The name of the U.S. skip, please?
Okay, Steve Empt is skipping today, and again, throughout the week, this is why this week has been so valuable for us. Steve and Patrick, they've played together on every single game, is what the format has been doing, but they've been flip-flopping. So one game Steve skips, one game Patrick skips, and so they've been going back and forth. So what we're trying to do is just figure out the lineup that the team itself is most comfortable with, how those two interact. They work together on calling the game. So it's really a team effort, and Steve and Pat are doing a tremendous job of coming together on their philosophy of how to play the game, knowing how to broom each other. So it's been a really good week.
Oh, Pat just made a fine draw, top 4 center line.
Perfect shot.
Fine draw.
And then and in this particular game, Penny Greeley is shooting lead rocks for Team USA. Again, Jimmy Jam Joseph shooting second rocks. Pat McDonald is shooting third rocks in this game and by skipping. And Steve Empt is skipping and throwing the final stones. But throughout the week, Penny and Megan Lino, Megan from the Cape Cod Curling Club, they've been splitting the duties right down the middle, playing with this team. And then the opposite person that's not playing is going over to the other USA team and playing with that. So Penny has actually skipped several games with Team USA Blue. This is classified as Team USA Red. So we're not really classifying as Team 1 and 2, just separate colors, because again, we consider all 8 of our high-performance athletes on the same page. They're all part of the same team.
Kind of a luxury to have the ability to rotate from team to team as well as position to position.
That's one of the nice things about doing this tournament. Again, it does give us some flexibility, and some places you wouldn't be able to do that. But all the teams are understanding, and Korea had the same option to do that. If between their 1, 2, and 3 team, if they wanted to rotate some people, stuff like that. Swiss had 6 people, and we gave them the luxury of if they wanted to move a couple people around. And again, all these teams were trying to prepare for the World Championship. And all the teams are trying to figure out, who their top 5 people are going to be to nominate for the Worlds. It's important to stick around here.
Tell us a bit about the Worlds this year. What's the location?
And look at this shot first.
That's
Another
a beautiful
little
shot.
hit and roll.
Oh, that's a
It's
beauty.
a beauty. Now, one little danger here, though. That was a great shot, and you'd scored 100. But he can see all that stone that he needs to. Now, the degree of difficulty is a little bit high. But if he can throw a solid takeout weight and hit the half that he can see, he does have a chance that he's going to double both our number 1 and 2 rock out.
Right. Right. And at the angle you're talking about, he may also get a roll across and pin the number 3 stone.
Right. Again, Korea has advantage here in the first end. World Championships are going to be in Korea this year.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. They will do an outstanding job. And the reason the Worlds are in Korea is because that will be the site of the Paralympics the next go-around. And so this would be basically considered the test site, basically, for that next World Championships. I take that back. This year we're going to Lucerne, Switzerland. Next year we'll be going to Korea, and then the Paralympics the following year. So this year yet, the winning teams, or the teams representing all the countries in the WCF and the respective nations will be going to Lucerne, Switzerland. And then in 17 they go to Korea as a test site, and then 18 the Paralympics will be back there.
This is a pretty good looking shot right
really
now.
It really is.
Steve.
It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. It might be...
You might get just not enough of it. Yeah.
It looks like Team USA is still shooting, counting 1 and 2. That was a rock there. I like the call, but the weight probably wasn't the proper weight selection. To make that shot, you had to hold a tighter broom and actually throw a little bit up weight takeout from normal to get a little action and get both those rocks out, because he hit just a nick of that and he didn't even slide it out of the house. So again, it was a proper call, but probably not the proper weight for the shot.
With Korea, with last shot though, has an interesting option going on over there in that corner right now. If they get the opportunity to throw a raise with their last stone, they could still make that double and sit a couple in the house. So
that is a possibility.
USA certainly has to get play away from that corner. Keep that from happening. Nice looking throw. Looks to be top 8.
You'd like to set this down so it doesn't get into the
Right.
8 foot. Or if they hit it on the nose, they won't be shot right.
Right. Wow, he's
So
just rolled to the 4.
Yeah. Still a very good shot. I mean, you'll take that first end, and it makes him throw. Anytime you can make a team throw a rock against 3, there's definitely an added pressure element, even though it's wide open. In theory, you maybe would have been happier. Or, I mean, it might have been better. He actually stopped a foot short of the house. Then you force Korea to go back and make that decision. Are they going to draw around it for the point, or are they going to try that double over there?
Right.
Run back double. I don't know if the run back double was there for 2, because even if you ran it straight back, the shooter itself might not have outcounted our blue rocks over in the far left-hand side of the circle.
Correct. Not,
so it looks like he's playing basically a heavy draw, using that for backing. So
not the easiest throw in the first end either.
No, it's not.
Out on rather fresh ice, it might track differently.
I do think this is a good call, though. I mean, some teams would throw a normal takeout at it. He's using basically, what you want to do is, what's your line for normal draw weight, and then you cut off about 2 to 3 inches off that, and you throw probably what's considered an 8 or 9 weight instead of dead draw weight. Right. They're bringing a broom in, which is a good move, I think, on their part.
Well, certainly he wants his stone to stay around because of the second and third counters. So, yeah, USA played a beautiful end.
It's been a very well executed end. Rock has got a little curling to do yet, so it depends on.
Pretty nice weight.
It's going to be very close. It's trying to get over there.
I don't believe he's going to.
He might go right out. He's going to give up a 3-banger here to us. So nice start for Team USA. A very solid end. Made him pay.
Well, that's one of those situations where strategy and execution of equal importance.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what you call it, you do have to make the shot.
Execution's got to be there, doesn't it, Dave? You can call a perfect game, but if you can't execute, you can't score.
And of course, you can't miss from back here.
Right.
And I've never missed a shot from this side of the glass.
Are you sure, Dave?
Well, I may have been heavy on one or two occasions.
No, I don't think you have either. Nobody misses from behind a glass. I was just giving you a bad time.
Yeah, I'm used to it. If you curl 30 years, you get your share of that.
The hardest part is when you got a team that you're tied in for and you're behind the glass and you're pulling for them, and you got 3 or 4 people right behind you that are criticizing a family member or your friend or your wife or whatever. And
well, tell me what that means. Now, they just give me the dynamics of that little team meeting they just had.
Okay, what we have is it's a team requirement, and between ends we want to make it quick and crisp. But they get together and they say, okay, based on what just happened, what's based on the scoreboard and the end being played, what's acceptable for this upcoming end, and what is totally unacceptable. And then as the end progresses, you may have to change your nature. But like right now with the 3-point lead, their objective should have been it's acceptable if Korea gets a point this end. So we're going to keep this end as simple as possible. She should be trying to draw right to what we call the sweet spot, right to the top of the 4.
Okay. Do they ever talk about what's a good miss?
It's a topic. It's an ongoing topic, and we're trying to figure out how to best handle that, because there's definitely a pro side and an amateur side to every single shot played. But at the same time, you have to be able to think in terms of the positive. You have to think about what the call is, and if people are saying to yourself, you can't be wide, you can't be short, then it's a negative thought. So you want to keep the positives, but yet you want to have somebody that's strong enough mentally, kind of before they shot, to say, okay, there is a pro side to this shot, and there's an amateur side, and you obviously want to be on that pro side. So penny shot, again, it's free guard zone, it's in zone 1, but based on the score, for myself, for the team value, that's not a very valuable shot. It's actually more valuable for the opponent than it is for us. So in World Championships, maybe they would have rated her 50. I'm not sure. I would only rate that. It actually, in theory, could be a 0, but I'd probably give her 25%.
I see. So is that on a scale 1 to 4? So you would have scaled it, you would have given it a 1 out of 4?
Yeah, that's correct.
I see.
I also drive my assistant coach, Rusty Schreiber, because he's using that system too. I have my own unique system. I grade everything from 1 to 100 personally, because I think there's a lot of difference between a 50% made shot and a 75% shot. So I might say a shot's worth 62%.
Right. I briefly learned some software scoring when we had some of the original programs here available. And my coach then, Dean Kelly, who has gone on to do amazing scoring jobs with Olympic curling, said sometimes you go back and you change your score.
Yeah, you really can.
Based on what happened after they threw the stone, it might end up to be a 75, not a 50, depending on what the opponent did with it. So
Penny's take out there, she got a piece of that, but it's one of those stones that, again, you'd have to grade that as 0. She moved the stone from the 4-foot area, but it slid way across the house, gave them big separation. And see, this is where our center guard hurts us.
Right.
Now, we were fortunate that they're coming up a little bit short of the house, but based on just 3 rocks being played, one's our own guard, one is the Korean guard, there's definitely opportunities for actually either team to capitalize on that. So.
Right. I kind of like the option of being able to draw behind that now.
Yep. So
with
now,
a double guard, partially overlapped. It's
now our key is for us to take advantage of it, and we've got to be first in. But
right. You get a little adrenaline issues sometimes when you're throwing those stones. Well, technically, USA is shot rock, back 12, almost dead center. Again, advantage now shifting to Korea with the opportunity to draw 2, or later on in the end, that becomes a backer. I guess I'm not sure. Was this If you were to say that the Korea teams A, B, and C, for instance, is this the A team?
This is actually their number 2 team, the way they're ranked coming in.
I see.
So, yep. And actually, their number 3 team ended up first in Pool B.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1 and 2 or 1 and 2. So actually, Korean teams did very well. They're all 1, 2, and 3.
Wow. Now tell us about the ice a little bit, Steve. Is this a good amount of curl for the athletes? Would they prefer more? Would they prefer less? What's your thought?
We would definitely prefer a little quicker ice, a little bit more swing,
Mm-hmm.
and only because that's what we're getting at the Worlds,
Right.
basically every year. So the ice is been very consistent, very honest. The guys have worked really hard on it this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have it's very typical Utica ice from year to year. In the morning when we get that first draw after they've scraped and prepped it, it's been really good. And like yesterday, well, we have 3 draw days. So each day or each layer of pebble makes the ice a little bit slower. So by the second and third game, it has slowed down a little bit. But here's another miss now. So you see how the very first rock of the end kind of sets the tone. So like again, when we got together, the goal of that first stone was to get in the house to keep it simple. Our
Right.
first rock comes up a little short. They got one short, but all of a sudden they've got a chance. Suddenly, if Korea can make one more good draw, they got a couple rocks behind center guards. Whereas we would like to take all the play right into the button area and just traded takeouts with them the whole end. So everybody says that, to me, this shows how important the lead position is, because one rock actually kind of dictated how the next 15 rocks are going to be played to a certain extent.
Right. That one high guard, if you will, really does dictate a lot when it comes to it's.
Yeah.
We refer to that in our league play as a pain in the neck, or a pain. You can put the pain wherever you like, but a high guard like that, the whole end is just grates on you.
Now the pendulum can swing right back.
Absolutely.
Now if Jimmy can just he's got that actually Patrick's first stone coming up here. And if Pat's got the high one to come around.
Right.
And that rock is basically lapped over the center line, half a stone. So you got about 5.5 inches over the center line. And then the second red rock they would have to clear, you can see, is just a fraction over. So he's got room to come around that high blue one, could miss it by as much as probably 6-8 inches, and curl right into the center line.
Where do you want this stone? Top 4?
I would like a top 4, yep. The line is perfect, but we got the weight. This is absolutely the line you wanted. Missing that guard by the 6 inches I mentioned. Here's the curl.
It's here. It's here.
You want it to finish just a little more. So I think that is absolutely a great shot. Even though that is second count, to me that's a 100, a perfect 100.
I agree. It's in the control area of the house.
Yeah.
Available for tap up, a really, really tough takeout because of the jam possibility. Of course, you can always nip it over, but it'll still stay in play. It certainly changes the mood, if you will, of the end.
Certainly does. This is a tough shot. This is a tough call for Korea. You almost have to go after it if you're thinking in terms of scoring more than 1 point, but it's a dangerous shot. And the only way they can chip that out and stick around in the house is to hit it on the far right side, just a quarter of it, try and just take it across the high side of a red one and then still stick around. But that requires only a rock that's probably a little less than half weight, or about half weight.
Right. And
they seem to be playing more of a draw.
I think you're right. They may be playing a corner, trying to get in position this for the next shot. And it's looking pretty good. It might come up a little short, but certainly not a bad shot in terms of keeping U.S. from promoting that Pat McDonald draw. But still, it's shrunk. The Pat shrunk the scoring area.
Yeah, that's the key. What you've done here is you've limited their scoring area. Basically, to get a second point, they've got to get it into. It's got to be within a couple inches of the 4-foot.
And then you know, if it plays out the way it's being played, that would be for 2. So they have somewhat taken the, you know, they've taken the chance for a big end. They've made it much harder for Korea to score a big end here and tie the game. So partial success there, even with those few misses in the beginning.
I like these. This is what I call a copycat situation, because Pat gets to basically throw pretty much the same shot twice in a row, and I absolutely love it when I can call my player for the same shot. He is going out on a little bit wider path that may or may not. It looks like it's a pretty good stone.
Yeah, it's making its curl. It's making its move.
I'd like to see it get just past that blue one. Oh, again, that is
terrific
a perfect shot.
As you said, just past that blue one. Now, does that give him an opportunity for a double?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. I was just wondering if a
real
I shouldn't high weight chip shot.
If he only hit about an inch of that with super heavy weight, yeah, you would hit the back side of it, and you could possibly get a double.
That's what I was saying, a high weight chip shot, yeah.
That's why when I mentioned I hope it got by it, because if it got by it, I knew that wasn't there.
Oh, it's absolutely where it is now. It's a really tough shot. But you're right. With another inch of travel, then the jam, they just couldn't do anything with that stone other than guard it and be happy with one.
And once again, it looks like he's just playing something really light. I don't know. It's kind of like right now he's saying I'm happy with one, and I'm trying to make sure that the U.S. don't have a tap back on that shot.
Yeah.
So.
Again, a corner freeze on the outside of that stone might give them an opportunity with their next stone to do something, but again, a really deft execution.
So what I'm asking my players to do right now, so Steve and Pat back here, I don't want them to be spectators and watch. They know what his call is, and if he throws a guard up there where we can't get to it, what's my next call? Am I going to play an out-turn draw and try to come around that, come back to this red one? And that gives them a 45-second head start on how much room. This might tap us in. This might be just what we wanted.
Right. This is looking like advantage U.S.
Very much so. Big mistake by Korea there. Big mistake. And again, it's recognition. And it's very unfortunate because it's hard. These people haven't had a lot of experience curling. I think that's what people watching, you know. It's pretty easy to look at one of these games. You can second-guess their strategy, but you got to remember virtually 100% of the wheelchair curlers. I mean, there's a couple rare exceptions, but almost 100% of them never played curling in their life until they ended up in a wheelchair for whatever various reasons, illness or accident. And so the strategy, it's hard, and most of them have not curled that long. So that last shot, if he would have thrown like a pew weight and just tried to get an inch of that, he could have cleared both of those out of there. But instead he played the lightweight shot. So now our objective is strictly a guard. Now our new acceptable result is we are stealing. We're not trying to hold them to one.
Right.
All we need is a guard, and we got a steal here.
Well, tell me about the other coaches then. I mean, we could talk all day about your experience and never even touch on all of it. Are the other coaches as equally experienced?
From the other teams and countries?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, I think most all of them. That's a good shot because he got to the inside. He's
You're
very
right.
fortunate. If we
You're
hung
right.
out there. So, in a way, the end result was perfect, but he kind of got away with one. I mean, his target area was the 16 feet between the hog line and the house. And so he actually overthrew that by at least 8 feet, is what I would say. Because you should be throwing zone 2. Any long guard gives him no shot. And by being heavy, he actually potentially could have set up a combination that they couldn't miss. So we were very fortunate that we got that last inch and a half of curl.
Very fortunate. So you're saying the other coaches have an equal level of experience as yourself?
Yeah, most of these other countries, they're all using people that have played long time competitively. There's a lot of great coaches out there. Most of the time, the Koreans are tapping into a lot of the Canadian coaches over the last few years. China has done the same thing. Japan is just like at the able-bodied, most of these the Asian countries, a lot of them are doing a lot of their training out in the Vancouver area.
Right.
They come into these fields and they've been able to make a commitment. Like Korea's been on the road here for literally a month and traveling with, like I said, a contingency of 20 people. And you know, we don't have that kind of luxury. We can make one foreign trip a year at most, usually at best, just because of funding. So these teams are doing very well.
Okay, what's the call?
I don't really see how he has much of a shot here, to be honest with you.
Is it red, blue, blue?
Yeah.
You're going to need all the skill you can get for that shot. Okay, you got by.
It's going to be close here.
Red,
You
blue,
got the
blue.
jam, yeah.
There it is.
And the angles are still not set up for Korea to get to that rock right now. You know, you do have a danger that there's 3 red seconds, 3 Korean seconds.
Correct.
But I don't really see the combination any place for them to probably get to that.
They need that zone 2 guard you were talking about here, don't they?
They really do.
Well, Pat's calling extra wide ice, so hopefully he's throwing 6 feet less of weight and they'll get what they need.
Any combinations of that red rock out there right now don't seem like they can get.
It's a tough one.
It really does. None of them seem to match up with being able to get to the direction, the path to that blue rock.
Well, that shot he just threw, he got about as much as he could out of that.
The red rock that they have that's on the far right in the 8-foot. You know, there might be about 2.5 inches of that exposed, and I guess if the other team could hit that 2.5 inches, it might go into the blue one. Be interesting to see if he picks that. That's the only shot I see, and I don't even know if he can see enough of that.
Well, Steve adjusted his weight on that guard, didn't quite make the hog line. I think you're right that 1/8 stone angle tap is available, but he's looking at those combinations up the middle again.
See, some red rock has to hit the one he had his broom by, but I don't. The angles are, I'm not sure if any of them are set up enough to be able to get in there.
You know, and
you got your drag effect in the stones, and that's what you got to look at in all these combinations. So everything he's presented with to hit the first stone into this, because you got to hit the second stone in the proper position,
right.
And that's what I don't see. If there's one that will do that for him.
Everything is just a
see that rock he's looking
small
there.
bubble off,
yeah,
right?
That rock he was looking at. I don't know if that will get by that red rock that's close to the center line. And the one he's looking at there, the angle is coming in. Even if he goes all the way across the top,
right? It's a slash angle.
The drag effect might take it by the blue one anyhow.
Right. It's a real slash on that one. It's tough. It's tough. He may be looking at a very wide outturn draw, which I don't think is a scoring shot. USA is happily covering about 1/4 of the button. So any draw that Korea throws would have to be within 2 inches of the peg. So I guess the combination taps and takeouts would be the only effective shots. Is there any play on the guard touching the center line red?
He's got to be able to. He's got to just miss our blue rock out there.
Got to finesse it, right?
Yeah, and he can't throw that very heavy, otherwise it won't curl enough. So maybe if you threw that about just hack weight, it might get enough curl to get up to that. But
wow.
I think that might be his most legitimate shot to try. But I just don't know if the curl's there on this ice right now.
Right. Well, I would say, to borrow a football term, he's looking for a Hail Mary here.
Well, being a Green Bay Packer fan, I kind of like Hail Marys right at the
Absolutely.
moment. That was a
Absolutely.
beautiful Hail Mary the other night.
Absolutely. My second most favorite professional football team.
That was a crazy game. There's been a lot of crazy football games lately. It really has been.
They blame the referees as usual, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just like any sport. Half of the people on the field are going to like a call, and half of the people on the field will not like the call.
Yeah, how true it is. Okay, let's see what he's trying. The red combination. The red rock that is about 18 inches in front of the house and about 8 inches to the right of the center line is, as I'm looking at it, I guess as you're looking at it in your monitor back home, is maybe, here we go, at that angle here. He's trying to drive that across the high side of that red rock that's straddling the center line at the top of the 8 foot and hoping it will come back. But
The reward's pretty good. He'll sit
Yeah.
4 if he makes it.
Not curling enough. He's going to hit the blue one. That might give us another point if he hits this blue one. Nope.
Oh,
He made contact with the blue one, and I thought he's maybe just going to slide that second blue one in for another counter. But
he had good speed on it. USA very fortunate, turned that end around, turned it into a 1-point score for USA.
now our counterparts. Again, we divided this up into USA red, white, and blue teams. And over on sheet 1 right now, playing against the Swiss national team, their #1 team. We got the other 4 players that are in our high performance plan. And again, we consider this all one team. We got 4 people on sheet 3 playing in the gold medal game. We got 4 over there. But that's not the way we are looking at it as a team perspective and as a coach perspective. It's 8 people, and we consider we're all on one team, but we're playing in 2 different games right now. So we got Megan Leno from Cape Cod shooting lead over on sheet 1, and they are currently tied up with Switzerland. They do have hammer advantage here in the third end. So Megan's shooting the lead. Matt Toombs is a new member to our high performance plan from Wausau, Wisconsin. Matt is coming along very well, doing really good. Plays it perhaps, I don't even say perhaps, I think without question, the Wausau Curling Club is the most beautiful facility in the entire world of curling. It's marvelous what they did up there.
So Steve and Dave, I was able to get some pictures, and we have the Team USA and a voice introduction. So let's get right to that. There's Team USA.
Okay, on the left, Penny Greeley from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hold on.
Hey, hello, my name is Steve Empt. I am the skip of Team USA 1. Vice skip today is Patrick McDonald. Second today is Jimmy Jam, and shooting lead today for us is Penny Greeley.
Yeah, that took care of that. He did a heck of a lot better job than I could have done, Dave.
And there's another thing
Yeah,
too,
that was
Steve.
from right to left. Right to left there. Just get the picture back up for you real quick.
If I might make one more observation, he has a great voice for skipping.
Yes.
You can hear him all the way across the club, I'm sure.
Again, I want to give hats off to Mr. Smith here. He has done an outstanding job.
So we also have the coach of the Korean team playing in today's gold medal game, Soo Min-guk. Hello. We're going to pull the picture up and have him introduce his squad, and from left to right.
정태영, skip, 민명섭, third, second, 강미숙, lead, 백혜진.
There's Team Korea playing in today's gold medal game at the 10th U.S. Open International Wheelchair Bonspiel. Let's get it back to Dave and Steve.
Well, Steve, I hope you got those pronunciations correct now, so that
That's why we brought you in, Dave. I know you're going to take care of those Korean pronunciations.
I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it.
I should be a lot better. I should be braver is what I should say. I actually spent a year in Korea when I was in the U.S. Army back in 1971. So I have some very good friends in Korea, and I think it's a wonderful country. And so I'm actually looking forward to going back there for the World Championships in 2017 and the Paralympics in 2018. It's I tell you,
How new is their
inter-
program? How long has it been going on?
They've been curling for quite a while now, and the first few years, I guess I don't know if I can put a timetable on it, but it's got to go back at least 10, 12 years. But it's only in the last, well, ever since they had the last World Championships there, they've kind of added fuel to it every year, and now they've really gotten into it. And because of the Paralympics, they've got a tremendous amount of funding that ordinarily wouldn't have been available to them. So for all their able-bodied Olympians and for their Paralympians, they are really going all out here to put on a wonderful show as far as performance for their athletes. So that's why it's really taken off now, because of the Paralympics in 2018 back in Korea. Go back to sheet one for a quick second. I mentioned Megan Leno from Cape Cod, shooting lead. Matt Toombs from Wausau playing second. Today, Corey Fairbanks from Denver, Colorado. Denver also has a nice, new, wonderful facility. Corey's been very, very helpful with that facility, that club. He's very, very, very active and adaptive program out there. Corey's done wonderful, and him and Pam Wilson, our other member from the Denver Curling Club that's playing in this competition this weekend, are just both fantastic members. And in the past, they only had ice one day a week out in Colorado, so it was very tough. But then now they got their new dedicated facility last year, so both of them are able to step up the amount of curling they're doing, and it's really showed off. And Corey's become a very strong member. So U.S. got 2 stones there in back of the 12-foot. They are behind a guard, but again, I consider those actually a bonus rock almost for Korea. Now, they're not taking advantage of it. See, if he could have just taken this draw around our rock that's up in front, that would have set him up for potential deuce early in the end. So we really don't like those rocks in the back of the 12. And I mean, if everybody misses a lot and they go on a scoreboard, then the team thinks, well, see, that was pretty good strategy. But it's not really where you want them, because if the other team executes, they can go work against you.
There's that word again, execution.
Yep. This is a tough little situation right here. See, I don't like that red rock where they've got it. But we're kind of afraid to hit it because we're afraid of jamming it back into those rocks. But my preference right now would probably be to throw an out-turn hit and kind of trade places with that rock. See, we're trying to draw around it. It's a tough little shot. And
we'll end up with an overlapped guard there.
Yeah.
Or maybe a corner freeze, which...
See, from I guess it's from a coaching point of view, I don't like this end the way it's set up, because when you got a 4-point lead, you want the action in the house. You should be playing all takeouts here and keeping it clean. And that doesn't mean Korea's going to execute, but if they do make a couple of nice tap backs or draws, all of a sudden they can build up a 2 or 3 end really fast. And how are they doing that? They're behind our guards, and there's no reason to have your guards up there.
I have to agree with you. Again, a well-placed shot by Korea takes the control of the end totally away from the U.S. squad. So,
over at sheet 1, I think I didn't finish. Justin Marshall is skipping today. Justin's another fairly new curler to our program, but it's just, again, made tremendous strides. Really, really solid technically. Great kid, great team dynamics, and he's built a house just about 20 miles outside of Madison, and but he works in Madison, so he's able to do a lot of training with us. So, great job. So Korea doesn't take advantage on this first one. Coming up just short. Good line, but just did not get in there.
So what's our decision now? Are we going to plug that side or try to be first to the 4-foot? Looks like he's going to try to throw up a guard. What do you think?
I think you got to go right around here, because if you, where Steve indicated, I might unplug myself.
No, I can still hear.
Okay. Where Steve indicated, if he stops just short of the house, blocking that path, then what you do is leave them to tap, and then the tap has got even an extra guard to go behind. So
Right.
you got to have enough guts here to take the proper line and throw it. You got to try and wrap it partially
Right.
behind that red rock.
And Patrick's had beautiful draw weight first two ends. This one is a guard.
Yeah, see, that rock totally works against this.
For
I
the
mean,
team,
if
right.
you're Korea, you couldn't possibly be happier where that rock stopped, because now no matter where they hit it, straight back, if they hit it a little bit to the right, or if they hit a little left, it's going to go behind a guard.
It looks like with the ice he's calling, he might be calling. Yeah, it looks like a tap.
Yeah, he's playing the out-turn tap pads to the end turn. But so we really we had to throw that, tried to go right in to zone 5, and you don't have to get it 100% behind the red rock, but you just need to get it in an inch or two just so they can't hit and roll behind the pile of guards.
And again, like chess, you just want to make them throw defensive moves instead of making an offensive move.
Right.
What do you think about trying to draw through that port and getting behind as an alternate? For the tap. In other words, if his stone curls too much, he actually can get in behind the guard.
He might be able to.
So a lot of pluses right now for Korea's opportunities. And of course, as soon as I said it.
He's a little light though, so
right.
they're not picking up on the weight here, which is really helping us. Another option we have right now, if we wanted to take it, would be to we could throw. I think probably our best shot is to do the same thing. Just try and play that out turn, come down to that hole. Our other option is play the in turn, start pretty close to center line, and throw an in turn draw and try and tap our blue one straight back into the house.
I like that call. They made their tap much harder now, or they changed the angle on it, but they still don't need much of a tap. They need about something full in the 8 to be in a scoring position. Again, now I think, in my recreational opinion, cutting down the scoring opportunities, cutting down the scoring area would be great. Well, you can hear Jimmy Jam exhorting that stone.
You can yell as loud as you want, but it just don't make that 40-pound chunk of granite go any farther. But
no, but sometimes
Jimmy talks to him more than anybody in the world.
And sometimes it just feels good.
Yeah, it does.
So
what is Korean trying now? Let me see. Not sure if he's made a decision. Yeah, he has. He's got the broom down. So I think he's probably trying a blue into his red ones.
Okay.
You got to throw this probably about solid 8 weight, maybe even 9 weight.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose a little momentum. You got to double tap here. He's got to hit it fairly full, too. He's
He
getting
may have
up there.
just enough weight.
This is going to be a perfect hit. Now it's just a matter of how those are lined up. This could be good.
Oh, he made that,
He
that
did make it.
sneaky draw that I was talking about.
Yeah,
He got a little bit of a rub in a couple spots, and now he ends up shot
it's
rock.
a perfect shot. Again, where is it? It's behind one of our blue guards that's in the corner guard position. So did not like a couple of our strategy moves in this end, because, again, we won really at a 4-point lead.
Right.
You really don't want any blue rocks out in front. The only time you throw a guard with that kind of a lead is when you get down to basically the 7th or 8th stone at the end.
So for the uninitiated, what you're saying is keeping the house wide open, giving them an opportunity to score 1 or maybe 2 at the most.
Right.
Is much better than to have everything in the front, which with a little bit of luck gives them a multiple score, a crooked number opportunity, as we say.
Correct. So Steve is going to do the same shot. Now he's going to play a little out turn. Basically, this is probably just I think what Pat's indicated there, I wasn't sure if they're going to call a draw. I like this call even better. I think he's called about what we call about a 10 weight. So back circle weight. And if you feed it through the hole, there should be enough curl. All he's got to do is tap that red rock. He's only got to move it about a foot, and then his shooter actually might even roll over towards the button. So if he gets through the hole with that weight, this could be a beautiful shot.
He gets a little rub on that red
really
stone that
close,
was just
too.
thrown.
He's got to curl just a little bit.
Oh, he's
It's coming.
just going to touch it.
Boy, it goes down as a 0.
Right, it's
But
too bad, too.
That rock was about half, 3/4 of an inch from being one of the best shots I've seen all week. If he,
Maybe a foot too heavy.
oh,
What a touch.
that really was. That was a very well thrown stone.
That depends on what Korea does here. He might get the opportunity to throw it again.
So if you're Korea, because you're behind by 4, you can't be happy either one and just plug that hole. I think they got to take a chance and try and put a second rock in there.
Would you throw the in-turn draw and try to get to the 4?
So he's going to leave that hole open.
Oh.
He's trying to wide out-turn draw. He's trying to come around the out-turn side. We got a rock that our number 2 stone looks like it's half in a 8, half in a 12. So he doesn't have a lot of room for that wide out turn to come around and get into the scoring position. It's definitely there, but it's doesn't have a lot of room.
Again, this probably where experience as a skip, and experience with the ice and experience in this type of situation would be a big advantage.
Right.
Ever have thoughts of having a headset on the skip and have a coach behind the glass?
We'd love to do that.
If I was a skip, I'd probably take it off after the first end, I can tell you that.
Yeah, the players would hate it. They hear enough of the coach as it is. They don't want to hear anymore. Okay, this is if the execution's there, it would have a really good chance to go on the scoreboard. But he's got a little bit wide line to start with, so I don't know if this ice will allow him to get over there. Don't look like it.
Making a good try at it though, but that wide ice is still a little stiff even in the 4th end compared to the center ice.
You can see he was, even where the rock stopped, there's about a 12-inch gap past that guard. So you can see he could have brought it in quite a bit more. So he definitely could have got into the 8-foot area.
So this is kind of a tough call for the U.S. as well.
So now I don't think you can play that number 10 weight. Now this is basically just a draw.
Yeah.
Get in there, and you're just saying to them, okay, you can make a good shot.
Yeah, you're going to work for your 2.
Yeah. So this is a shot that it's not really all bad if he comes up a couple feet short of the house, because right now Korea's got a really tough shot for 2.
Well, he's got some pretty good weight. Depends on how it curls.
I'd like to see this wick off of one of those and kind of roll over there. This could be a...
That is a nice shot. Again, gives them the opportunity with a great shot to score 2.
See, kind of a double-edged sword. Great shot. You got to score them 100. Really well thrown. But it gives them a pretty realistic chance at a deuce, because he's got a hole there that's pretty good size to get through. He gets it.
Got to throw a bullet, though. This is not going to be...
And everybody wants to be shot. So, again, I got to score him 100. I like the shot. But, in essence, if he would have stopped 2 feet short of the house, Korea's chances of getting 2 would be considerably less than they are right now, I think. But, again, he's got to execute it. He's got to make it.
Yeah.
What do you think that hole is? About a rock and 3/4 wide? Is it 2 rocks wide?
I'd say 2 rocks.
Okay.
I'm looking at the... Well, you have what we call the TV line and the center line, and there's rocks bisecting each one. Not really, so... Yeah, almost 2 rocks. You're probably closer to 1.5. But again, we're talking, I like to call bullet weight, and that the trajectory, there's not much give to the trajectory. Really has to go straight.
No, he's playing the in turn, and so that makes the hole a little bit smaller because of the high rock is the blue one on the left-hand side. So So even though the hole itself visually is about 2 rocks wide, that cuts the hole down by probably about 2 or 3 inches.
True. And I believe a nose hit will work, or slightly across the face will work. But again, it's certainly weight critical here, not just weight sensitive. If it hangs at all, USA steals 1.
This is a three-point shot right here. U.S. either goes up 5-0 or it's 4-2. So this is one of these big skip shots.
He's got the weight.
Might over curl on him. Yeah.
He may get a combination. Let's see how this ends up. Okay.
Steal 1 for Team USA. Got a little break there again.
He certainly threw the weight. Okay, now that little bit of a team meeting here, that morale, strategy,
Yep, again.
critique, all in 30 seconds or less.
That's about right. That's we want to keep it short, but really, really positive. Even if an end doesn't go well, you want to keep it very positive. And again, you got to play the scoreboard now. The game is less than half over. It's only 3 ends out of 8. But you look at the scoreboard. We're ahead by 5, and that first shot, again, you gotta err on the pro side. You'd rather have it slide to the back 8 foot or 12 foot than you would have it stop somewhere in that free guard zone area. So, but yet you got to have enough guts to throw it to the 4 foot. You know, some teams, they're so concerned about, you know, like, well, I don't want to be short, that they never give themselves a chance, and they throw it to the back of the house or through every time. But experienced skip, your experienced lead here, you're gonna try and put this right on the. Again, I call it the sweet spot. And to me, the sweet spot is half in the 4 foot, and half in the 8 foot.
It's almost an anti-adrenaline shot. You kind of get pumped up, and then you have to calm down, and then you have to compensate for both.
I like her line. And the line's important, because in case you do underthrow it by a few feet, you want it to be on that center line. This looks like a perfect 100 to me.
It's in the range of perfection, that's for sure. Beautiful shot.
So I said half in the 4 foot and half in the 8 foot on the center line. And where is that rock? I mean, you can't throw it. I mean, she could have put it on her lap in the chair and rolled down here and reached down and set it down, and it wouldn't have been any better than that. That is absolutely a perfect shot. I would actually, I like to give asterisks with my scoring. So she not only gives 100, but she gets a little asterisk to go with it.
Okay, give it a plus, 4 plus.
Perfect shot.
That's nice. So Korea now, what, freeze, tap? What do you think?
Being behind by 5, they should throw up 1 corner guard here.
Okay.
But she is not. She looks like she's playing, I guess just a draw down to it or a little tap, you know, maybe trying to play back circle weight.
What is it they say on TV a lot of time? Rattle them around just a little.
This is a bad miss. And he might have been calling a normal takeout at it, but we like the fact that they're calling normal takeout because we'd love to just trade stones with them.
Sure. Yeah, mathematically, be tough to win if you're trading ones.
No, what I would do here is I'd let her throw absolutely. I'd try and make her duplicate that shot. I'd put it right dead on top of that freeze. Again, you don't want to throw a guard because if you throw a guard and it stops well short of the house or offline, you're setting it up. So you don't care if you come right down and freeze on top of it. Let them throw a double at it.
I see what you're saying. He threw just enough to take it out the back, which is not terrible. It's not terrible at all.
No, it's not terrible. These are the ones that, from a coaching point of view, you make you scratch your head because when they get to do that carbon copy shot, that's the ones you want them to be able to muscle memory and technical to be able to throw that shot pretty close to the same. She actually overthrew that one by probably about 8 or 9 feet.
Well, when you think about it, that's correct. It is. It was better than half a house heavy.
Yeah.
But you're speaking to a dedicated lead here, and I can tell you the hardest shot in curling sometimes is the same shot.
So this is what they should have done in the first one. If they're not playing a corner guard, see, that's a good shot. I don't know if it's the best strategy, but for what he called, that's a really good shot. Now we should go after it. Just because we're shot rock, absolutely nothing should enter your mind except taking that shot away.
I kind of like what USA is doing with both third and skip in the house, discussing strategy before each shot.
This is new to us. This is the first year we've implemented this. Scotland is one of the only teams, or one of the few teams we've seen do it. And after watching them, I just really like the content. This is a perfect shot.
All right, that's a 4. That's
it
100.
Really is.
That's
and
100.
At a world championship, they probably scored that a 50 because he hit and rolled out. To me, that is a perfect shot. That's 100. That's the pro side of that shot.
Now, last year's final was Scotland and Russia. Where are they this year?
Russia's, they're playing a ton. They're playing all over, but they are not in this event. But I think they've been in, I know they were in Ottawa, I think, and out in Richmond, BC as well. So they've been doing a lot of travel. Scotland is really struggling at the moment. They had to go to a qualification just to qualify for the World Championships, but they did get back in.
Now they're one of the teams that in every curling game they bring along players for mixing and matching. I've seen them do it at the world men's level.
Yep, they do that. They probably do that more than any other country.
Right. Korea again playing that tap back strategy, which is probably not a bad idea when you're down 5.
So I'm just going to over curl enough to give us a wide open takeout, I believe.
Let's see.
Call the same shot here.
I will tell you, on league night, everybody likes to have Jim on their team. You put him in that second slot. Whoa.
He's fun to curl with, isn't he?
He is fun.
He's fun to be around.
Put him in a second slot and then put him in the house, and he is terrific. He's just terrific to curl with.
And if you think he's good on the ice, you should see that guy on the dance floor. Holy man. He is the envy of every wheelchair male in the world. I tell you, when he gets out on that dance floor with those gals.
He gets 100%.
It's another great shot. I score that 100 as well.
He has the weight. His line is good. His attitude's great. Yeah, it's nice to see.
So over on sheet 1, we have our USA team leading 3-1. On sheet 2, we have Quebec leading. It's all tied up. Quebec and Ottawa are 2-2. Our gold medal game here again. USA has gotten off to a good start. They're leading 5-0 over the Korean number 2 team. The Korea number 3 team is having a very tough time against Korea number 1. Korea number 1 has pulled out 6-0 in that game. Korea number 1's probably a little upset after getting beat by the number 2 team here in that semifinal game. So they're showing no mercy over there. They're pulling away. The Can-Am Swiss team against one of the Canadian teams. And they are leading. They're down 4-3.
That's listed as Quebec as well, Steve, the Lennoxville team.
Yeah, Quebec. Okay.
Yep.
So we got 2 Quebec teams. That's a nice team, our Can-Am team. We were very happy that we only had 11 teams, and at the end we were able to add another team to fill out the draw to make 12 teams, and that consists of Kirk Black is skipping, and Kirk is also another very dedicated athlete. I'll tell you about him in a second. I'm going to watch Patrick's shot first. So Korea had another shot. We're still playing a takeout. Just got to hit half of this rock or a quarter of it. It's very close.
Got a corner of it.
It's another 100. Hit and roll out, but it's a perfect shot. Absolutely perfect. So that's 100.
I kind of like the rollout side of that
I do
because it
too.
gives him less to lean against.
Yep. Excellent shot. Right now, the execution is really playing some nice shots. So Kirk Black skipping that team, the Can-Am team, and Kirk moved his wife and daughter from Texas to Madison just so he could train and curl full time. And super, super young man, really positive, a great athlete. Played some other sports too before he got injured. So he's doing great. He's playing with Shauna Petrie. Canadian gal, and they've been super together. They're just having a great time. They're curling very, very well. And in fact, they knocked off this USA red team. Actually did a pretty good number on them in the round robin. So that guy can play, and Sean can curl. And then kind of the nice thing about this competition, their teammates are 2 players from Switzerland. So we got a real combination team. We got Swiss, Canada, and U.S. all playing in one team. They are playing against a team of USA veterans, and they're the least experienced, but they're having a great time. 2 of the members are from the Long Island Curling Club. They only get to play once a week, and they're all brand new wheelchair curlers, but you know they're not faring well in the victory column, but they're faring very well in the have fun column. They're doing really great, learning a lot. Another good shot. I'd like to see that one actually roll all the way out so they can't use it for backing.
And
So if they use that for backing, it would only be number 3. So.
And Steve, for those who may have be just tuning in, could you maybe just briefly run down the format of the event? You mentioned the 12 teams, but the 2 pools setup.
Yeah, we had 12 teams, and so what we did is had a Pool A and a Pool B. So you had 6 teams in each bracket. That allowed them to play 5-game round robin. And then after the 5-game round robin, you took the winner of Pool A against the runner-up in Pool B. And then you took the winner of Pool B against the runner-up in Pool A, and then same way all the way down the line. 3rd place played to 4th place in the opposite pool, and then 5th played to 6th, 6th played to 5, all the way down. And the nice thing about it, even if out of 12 teams, everybody is playing in the finals today. Everybody's getting an extra curling game, extra day of experience, so everybody goes home playing 7 complete games. It's really a nice, I think, a great concept.
And you can see on our scoreboard on the live stream, the games going on sheets 1, 2, 5, and 6 are consolation events that Steve just mentioned. So our bronze medal game over on sheet 4.
I think Korea has a good chance of winning on sheet 4.
So that's a astute observation on your part.
Thank you.
And they had a really good chance of getting into the final game, too, seeing as how it was Korea 2 versus Korea 1.
Yes.
This call here, I'm not going to argue with the call, but I don't know if I would do this one or not. You know, I'll tell you why in a second here. I think we're going to luck out, maybe go through the middle. So the end result was good. And if you know you're going to get the peel, obviously that's the best call. But you want to be careful of a jam. They did have a, if we leave that alone, they do have an out-turn draw that they can come around and try to freeze on that. So what's our other option? Our other option would be just to draw it to the opposite side of the 4-foot. Wide open, but then even if they choose to come around the corner, we got shot rock on the other side. So that the advantage of not playing the peel is then you don't have to worry about a jam, but when you make that shot, again, it looks better. So that's an option. I wouldn't be upset no matter what they call. If they drew the opposite side of the 4-foot and forced Korea to take the action over there or playing the peel. And when they're shooting good and making takeouts, that peel was probably the best call. So this leaves Korea no choice but to come down and try and corner freeze on our shot rock here. It's pretty close, but it don't look like it's going to get over far enough.
Yeah, it's not going to stop anytime soon either. Oh, there it is. It just did get a tap, and Korea is sitting 1.
So into skip rocks here. In the 4th end, almost halfway through the game. We are playing 8 ends. If those have tuned in prior Wheelchair International Spiel's live streams, we had time games, which we had throughout the round robin, but these finals will be played in a full 8-end game.
Uh-oh, we might have a miss unless we come off our own. I can't see our own rock here.
Just touch.
We
Just
got
enough
a
of it.
real break there.
I think you call it, Steve. You said, unless we come off our own rock, and as soon as you said it, it did.
Yeah, you got to talk to him. You got to steer him in there, Dave.
Well, see,
I got a little magnet in my pocket. You didn't know about that, did you?
Well, we were just talking about Jimmy. I think talking to the Stones works.
Yeah, maybe you're right. when things are going well, you get some breaks, and we did get a break there.
We always talk about those curling gods, and every once in a while when they're on your side, you love them. Again, Korea trying to throw that draw now is just to salvage one.
Yeah, this is really, it's another one. It's really a game shot. I mean, they're already in trouble, but if he misses this one, it's close to handshaking time. But if he makes it, you know, they're still alive.
Well, he threw a minute ago. He threw just a little heavy.
This is not going to get to it.
But they may be in trouble here.
Yeah, we're going to walk away with it here. That's a tough break for Korea.
It is tough, but in sympathy for the skip, sometimes you're thinking, you know, I can tap it back a little bit. I don't have to worry about the weight. I don't just draw two. I still get a little bit of tap, so you tend to throw an in-between weight.
There's nothing.
You take the ice for the draw, and then you throw that in-between weight, and you don't get either.
That's boy, that's a truism in curling, boy. You get that in-betweener, that half of one and half another, and you gotta commit to one or the other. You really
Amen.
do.
Amen. Amen.
But this makes us feel good, obviously, from a Team USA point of view. It's been a long time since we got ourselves into this medal game here at the U.S. Open, and we love what's happening with our program. And you know, going all the way back to when we kind of first started this, getting ready for Torino in 2006, almost every year we virtually knew who our four people would be. Sometimes there was a little bit of a contest, maybe who was going to be the alternate, but a lot of times the alternate wasn't, you know, was quite a bit less experienced and skillful as our other four. And boy, for the first time, our top 8 athletes, I mean, any one of these 8 out here, I would have absolutely no problem having them on the team that went to the Worlds and fit right in. They played very well. And again, I want to emphasize that to anybody watching out here. This has been a kind of a combination team all week. And in this championship game, Jimmy Jam and Penny are playing in this game. Patrick and Steve have played together every single game, but Penny and Megan have rotated basically equally throughout the week. Every other game, either Penny or Megan has played with those two guys, and the other one has gone on to the opposite team. And then Jimmy Jam, I believe this is only Jam's second game playing with Pat and Steve. We gave Corey Fairbanks, Matt Toombs, and Justin Marshall all a chance to play at least one, if not a couple games apiece with this team. And again, it's a chance for us to evaluate how they're performing at different positions. And then when they got to play on the other team, they were all in position where they got to skip a game, so it gave them a different feel for the game. And I think it was really neat that they all got to play skip on the other team a game or so too, because you gain a hell of a lot of appreciation for the pressure on the skip. It's pretty easy for somebody to say, well, you know, our skip missed a draw in the 5th end and they missed a draw or a takeout in the 8th end. All of a sudden, when they got to throw it themselves and realize the game's on the line, they get a lot more appreciation, and makes them a little more tactful and diplomatic when they start suggesting things on the ice.
So since we're halfway through, we do have some people joining in. We have the team photos, and we'll hear Patrick's dulcet tone once again. Okay. Here's Patrick introducing his team from right to left.
Hey, hello, my name is Steve Empt. I am the skip of
Steve.
Team USA 1. Vice skip today is Patrick McDonald. Second today is Jimmy Jam, and shooting lead today for us is Penny Greeley.
That's Steve from right to left.
So I want to give a
Team USA Red.
hats off to another guy that's extremely, extremely valuable to our program, Tony Colaccio from Cape Cod. Tony, the guy has done absolutely wonders, miracles with wheelchair curling, recruiting, training. He's had Dave Palmer, was a former member of our team that went to the Paralympics and the Worlds. Megan, of course. Steve Empt. How did we get Steve Empt? Tony Colaccio was driving in Woods Hole just only like 3 years ago, and he sees this guy in a wheelchair. Tony parks his car, gets out of his car, and goes over to Steve, and he says, "You should be a curler." Steve didn't even know what the hell curling was. Never even heard of it. And before you know it, Steve's at the Cape Cod Curling Club, and 3 years later, the guy is outstanding. He's truly an athlete. He played a little collegiate ball at Connecticut, and he's just a tremendous asset. Great team dynamic guy. And being a former athlete is really important. He knows the adversity thing. He knows the commitment level. Really a bonus to the team. So, Tony, I want to thank you for everything you've done to our program. Again, to my trusted honorable assistant, Rusty Schreiber. Can't work without the guy. He's fantastic. Does so much for us. And last but not least, probably the most important guy, Mark DePerno from right here in Utica, who works at Citron. And Mark is really single-handedly run this program going all the way back to about 2007 or so. My wife Diane was kind of the original coach and team administrator and team leader. And then after the Paralympics, Diane stepped down and Mark stepped in from Citron. And the sponsorship from Citron, the volunteers, I mean, we must have had a dozen people from Citron over the weekend out here volunteering. Most of those volunteers out on the ice right now are from Citron. Those people are wonderful, and Mark DePerno is just, I tell my wife, the day Mark stops being our team leader is probably the day I resign from coaching because I couldn't live without the guy. I really couldn't. Oh, you're watching that rock?
That we call a pick, don't we? Wow.
That is like, I don't know, it's like taking your hand and hitting a cement wall. I mean, that rock just took how can a 40-pound rock go absolutely sideways? It's amazing.
Well, that's when you look up at the curling gods and say, okay, we get it. We get it.
Not our day.
And, the anomaly is the fact you'll throw 10 rocks over that spot and that doesn't happen, and then one does.
Yep.
And certainly there have been stones played. It's right next to the center line. There have been plenty of stones played there. And yet the ice has a mind of its own.
Jimmy Jam up the bat here.
Well, here, what do you do? Just get things out of the way, get rid of guards?
He's saying we don't want any red rocks in play in front of the house. And this is when you know you're playing with confidence, when you start cracking these rocks out of there.
Oh, and he's going to get
Jimmy Jam, little showboat. He's got his stick in the air, even though he's only going to get an inch of it, but that's all he needed.
Yeah.
He's a crowd pleaser, I tell you. He really is.
While you're mentioning the delivery stick, I noticed the length every year. It seems to grow exponentially. Is there a rule, and I don't know, the rule is that the end of the stick doesn't pass the hog line, or is there any?
That's still same. You got to release the stone before you get to the hog line. So nothing's changed there, but the sticks have great observation. The sticks are definitely longer than they used to be, and the fundamental reason behind that is kind of like shooting a rifle, so to speak. You want to get, the stone as you're releasing it, you want it to be out in front of your dominant eye. So it's like sighting down the barrel of a gun. And if you're shooting from the side, it's really hard to get your line in the proper release. So the longer stick, your arm is still in motion the same amount of time, but that means the stick is farther away from your body, out in front of your eyes, and it makes it a little bit easier to deliver. And you notice we got the old traditional, what we call extender heads that are being used. I don't know, if you look around here, it's probably about 50-50. And extender heads are... It's almost like able-bodied curling. You got to put your little rotation on, just like you would in able-bodied curling. You can start it at like 11 and 1 to put your little turns on and do it. These other ones are called a GTX head. Actually, the inventor of that is the coach from the Quebec team. And what that allows you to do is you set that on the handle at about pretty close to 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock for whatever turn. But you just release it straight, and the stick is actually what puts the rotation, the turn on the stone for you. So it's simplified the game for some people as far as turns. But with anything, there's also, there's some pros and some cons to it. To get that thing to set properly, to get it adjusted for the various handles, the amount of rotation, it takes some tweaking. And the handles will vary slightly from one facility to another, so again, you got to kind of get that fine tuned. But it's a nice delivery mechanism or head, and it's definitely here to stay.
What about rotation? What are they looking for in terms of rotations down the ice?
Just like able-bodied, the minimum you should have is probably 1.5, and probably the maximum you should ever have is about 4. So it'd be nice if everybody threw exactly the same, that 2.5 or 3 times.
Yeah, I think what you said, consistency, muscle memory, aligning your shot properly, just critical.
See, this
Makes
is
the game good.
This is kind of, and Dave, we really wanted to get in. With that lead, everything, look at we're playing everything in the house, so you couldn't ask for a better situation. So there's really no real threat to Korea scoring any kind of a big end. Even if we get a couple misses, it's going to be hard for them to get more than 1 or 2 at the most. Really like that part.
They're drawing. They're drawing. They're going to make the aggressive move.
Yep, they have to.
Yeah, they need something on the board here. Is it like Yogi Berra said, it's getting late awful early. So, Doug, is there a way of telling if there are people listening in?
Yeah, Dave, we have, I just launched the browser. We have 18 out there watching. And it's like our YouTube events. It usually picks up as we go along, and we have lots of watches after the fact on our recordings, which are good for life.
And Dave did say 18, and I know he meant 18,000. So we're pretty happy with that turnout. 18,000 that's a nice crowd.
Well, I was speaking with a woman from Wisconsin just a few days ago, nice woman, and I mentioned that it would be webcast, and she said that she most likely would be watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also 1 a.m. in Korea right now on a Monday, as I asked the coach earlier, so that isn't helping the numbers.
Well, actually, it might
the
be
recording,
because.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you watch this or telemarketing. I'd rather watch this.
Doug, the thing I've got to ask you now, can like these athletes now, what can they go back and they can get this off the library, and how does that work?
Yes, it'll be archived as soon as we end the recording, Steve, on the YouTube channel, and it'll be there forever. We usually keep. Last year we just kept all of our past streams up on the Utica Curling Club channel.
And that's included in the audio, or?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, I want to thank you. I think this is a tremendous thing you're doing for curling, and
thanks, Steve.
obviously the more you do it, the more people are going to become aware of it, and it's just wonderful. And you can't appreciate how much families and that stuff back home just absolutely love it, that don't have that opportunity to travel, and their husband or spouse or friend or companion is gone, and this way they can stay in touch with their curling. It's really fantastic.
Now they're curling. Now they're basically drawn to the open side.
See, this is what I kind of like.
Just a beautiful, beautiful executed shot. And well into the house. Korea has a slim opportunity here for 2. Make 2 nice shots and get 2, but 2 in the 5th end, it still leaves them a hill to climb. And we give USA. USA hasn't had the hammer yet, and evidently that's been working for them.
Quick rundown on the scores again. Way over here. So Korea 1 playing in the bronze medal game. Korea 1 playing against Korea 3. Korea 1 has taken a fairly commanding lead in that, 6-1 yet.
Right up in there. Set up right there. Come on, go.
Over on sheet 6, we got some more popular names from the Utica area here. We got Bob Preveno, and Bob has also been with our wheelchair program. And his teammate is Mark Taylor, who's also from Utica area here. So Bob and Mark go all the way back to actually the 2003, 2004 teams. Just long-time members of this curling club. Bob has been with it all the way, been a tremendous volunteer in this club, worked with other adaptive programs. He's been fantastic for our sport. And Bob won one of our honorary awards we gave out this year for the first time, kind of like a Hall of Fame nomination for just what he's done for the sport, helping other people, helping new wheelchair curlers. And so he's been great. And Mark Taylor has been out of curling for a few years but came back last year. It's good to see Mark. Also in that team is Tim Kelly. Tim, another guy that's really dedicated to curling, is not on our high performance team, but has been to a couple of the worlds. And he actually lives in Rockford, Illinois, but drives 60 miles to Madison to curl 2-3 times a week, and also curls in a club in Janesville one night a week. So very dedicated. And Pam Wilson is also playing with them. And Pam is from Denver, that I mentioned earlier. And now that they have a dedicated club, getting to curl a lot more than she used to. And they're playing against our veterans team over there, again, our inexperienced team, but they're having a ton of fun, doing very, very well. Steve just playing a takeout. Good solid shot. And it looks like one of those, the blue rock on the right is definitely shot. The other blue rock could be second count.
Well, what's interesting about it is a hit on either of those rocks will not give Korea a 2 count.
I think what he has to do is, I think he has to play an intern. Well, he's got to play some type of just about basically button weight or about 8 weight and try and just feather his red one.
Right.
All he's got to move that is probably only about 2 inches, and then the shooter to slide in, so he could get his 2.
Right.
So which turn you want to use? You can use an in turn and kind of come across the face of it and try and get a little nick, or you can curl into it with the out turn and try and nick it.
I like the out turn call. And we saw that a lot in the third end where they threw 3 or 4 shots on this line. And so they should know the ice. Again, the weight, it was a little heavy the last end on 2 draws, so hopefully he'll get the right combination here. Watching a bit of Korea 1 playing over on sheet 4. The way they're playing, it's hard to believe they lost the game. They're really playing well.
It is a good team. Very good team.
Steve, this is starting to look pretty good here.
It does look really good. I think he's got a perfect shot here. He got it.
He gets his 2.
Stick around. Oh, when it just... I only got the 1.
He gets the 1, but it was a beautiful shot.
Excuse me.
Beautiful shot. Okay, so USA's meeting is going to...
This one should be able to be pretty brief.
Yeah.
8-1, got the hammer advantage.
Got the hammer.
6,
so
keep it simple, yep.
What is it, Kevin? I heard Kevin, the hammer thrower from Canada. Kevin Martin.
Oh, okay.
A few years ago, his third said to him, "Oh, we want a guard in this situation," and he said to him, "We won't be throwing any guards today, Johnny."
Great curler, Kevin Martin.
Oh, absolute hammer thrower.
The guy was fantastic.
But that's what it was. Just, we won't be throwing any guards. And that was with a 2-point lead. So, yeah, I think he's gone back to playing behind the glass now in the top events where it is easier to hit from back here. It just goes without saying, you can't miss.
So Corey Fairbanks, the third for our other USA team over there. Looks like we got a 1-point lead with hammer advantage here, playing 5. Looks like he's playing just some kind of a guard.
Come on, get over there.
Not sure what he's trying. We got a bad angle for that sheet, and unfortunately we're not showing you that. So.
Actually, I can show you the house, Steve.
Okay.
Good. You're right. He threw a beautiful guard on that port.
Wow.
Here on sheet 3, Korea did throw a guard.
Yep, that's a good guard.
That long guard we were talking about. Do we play the chips here?
Chips.
Do we try to just tap that over and roll to the side? Have we practiced that shot?
We have. I'm going to be honest with you and say we practice very little because very seldom we're in a position to be able to do that. And it is extremely, extremely hard shot with no sweeping. I mean, this shot with sweeping is very tough. Okay.
Well, I agree, but remember, you're talking to a dedicated lead.
Yep. Still laying one.
It's kind of fun when that's your shot in the 8th end, and you know you're doing something right.
Okay, we're showing sheet 1 right now, and see, Team USA does have a rock in really nice position. The top, it's in that perfect sweet spot, almost half in the 8, half in the 4, and it looks like it's pretty well buried. I think the Swiss skip is trying to throw an in-off on a rock that's outside the 12-foot.
Yeah, we'll cut back to that, Steve, when the rock's underway. Here's back to sheet 1. See, that's a tight game through 4 ends.
You'll even see that rock he's trying to hit.
You'll see it come through
pretty
the
close.
Now.
Look at that shot.
Beautiful shot.
A little in-off. And
boy, he didn't get shot, but what an attempt.
Back to our feature game.
Yep. Korea, nice little draw here. This is what they weren't able to do in the early ends. Again, not so important that they're not shot rock. It's just they got one in behind.
Okay, now USA is choosing to split the house with their second shot.
See,
what's your call, Steve?
I think that's just a little bit of a lack of experience too, because right now, then it makes it harder to do any peeling because you're going to jam something either way. And I wouldn't have been opposed for them to try that little split shot in the first one. I think that'd been a good time to try it.
Now, I see what you're saying about if you split the house, though, you kind of take the gun out of the second's hands because you can't just wind up and throw.
Right.
He's got to be much more careful about a jam.
No, if I'm Steve here now, my thought process is I'm going to peel no matter absolutely what Korea does. I'm probably going to peel that top rock. So now you're looking at, okay, who's my next player? Is Jimmy Jam? Am I going to call an in-turn or out-turn? And how much ice do I need to take, you know, for the weight I'm going to give him? And it gives you, again, head start. You're trying to go back and get that mental recall of what the ice is. I guess the one exception, she tries to draw and she sets, you know, just dead open between that blue one and the red one. Then you can go ahead and play a takeout in that shot.
She's thrown a pretty nice-looking shot here. She'll probably be in the 4. Well, it just comes up a little short of the 4, but again, losing that center line guard with a peel now will open up.
So now you play this with the out turn, and he's saying either or. So his main objective, he's trying to hit the rock in the house, and he's saying if you hit the guard, it's okay. Or you could do it just the opposite. You could say, okay, we're going to try and get a sliver, or we're going to try and peel that off, but if you slide by using this turn, we'll pick out the back one. So either one's going to work basically equally good.
I believe he's got just a touch on that center line guard, which is a great shot.
So that's good. And they can't really guard both of those rocks very effectively, and if they miss it, we might actually have a double there. Maybe the double go into that jam. I'm not sure.
So let me ask you on scoring. What do you score that shot,
I
Steve?
give that 100. That's perfect 100, yeah.
Okay. Even though it was the option shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't. I think it's an either. I really do think it's a 50-50 shot. You don't care which one you get. And you're kind of holding the broom to make sure that you got one or the other.
Right.
The only thing you can't do there, that's where the amateur side miss would be if you miss everything. Then you're really in trouble.
Right. Going back to a comment I referenced earlier known as the good miss.
Yep.
You want to make a good miss there. I believe Korea now is just trying to make everything happen in the middle.
Yep.
Keep the USA peeling and hope to tuck something in with their last stone and either cut down the scoring area or steal. And they have a nice guard placed. And Jimmy throwing his second stone now. And is that either or choice here, Steve?
Yep, I think it's still the same.
Okay. Nice place to be at this point in the game when your better takeout artist is throwing a takeout.
This time I think he's going to get the back one.
Yeah, he's got a good chunk of it.
Again, it's really a 50-50 thing. You know, in a way, it might have been better off if he hits the high guard. But
well, truthfully, at 8-1 in the sixth end, if they trade ones,
be happy.
You'd be very happy, very happy. And Korea will at some point have an option of taking out Shot Rock and getting another one behind the 4-foot with a lucky roll. So, you know, not without options. Sometimes I like playing without the hammer. It forces me to keep my head in the game.
See a lot of different delivery styles out here, and it's a little bit like a golf swing. You know, everybody's a little bit different. Body builds are different. Obviously, their disabilities are all different, and so you kind of gotta temper that to, you know, what your body will allow. And so people are holding the sticks in different position and stuff, and as long as the repetition is there and you can do something consistently, that's the key.
So what's the harder game, golf or curling?
Well, I love them both.
I know that. I was playing with you there.
They're both pretty hard. And, I mean, I got to think golf is a really hard game, but because I love curling so much, I would never admit that curling isn't one of the hardest games in the world. And everybody doesn't think it's really that difficult a lot of times until they've actually had a chance to play it and experience it. But I think one of my favorite things is you get some sports writer that, you know, he was a football jock or a basketball jock, and he thinks curling is, you know, a drinking game or an old man's game, or, you know, and refuses to cover curling, but all of a sudden he's given an assignment and he doesn't have a choice, and he comes out there. You can tell he's kind of cocky and don't want to be there. So I like to put him on the ice, and I like to put a slider on his shoe and say, go ahead and take a shot at this before I teach him anything. Then he goes out and falls on his ass a couple times, and then he's got a new appreciation for the game. Anybody else I'd be very, very safe with, and I'd tell him to put grippers on, and I'd walk him up and down the ice a couple times.
Right.
But that hotshot sports writer, I like to see him on his hind end a couple times. Then he gets a whole new appreciation for what we're going through.
Basic question is, what am I doing out here? Oh, I have to agree with you there. Korea again attempting what would look to be a bit of a touch on Shot Rock and maybe a little roll to the center. Sit shot. Nicely thrown.
It was nicely thrown. It was a nice idea. Just didn't get his second count out of it, which he needed it. But play a nice solid hit again. Hit that in the nose.
This one here. Get this one to flop right over. Normal.
Team USA did steal one more point over there. Actually, not stole. They had the hammer. They got a point with the hammer. So they got a 4-2 lead going in the sixth end. That game is equally important to us. We really want to win that. We want to win both of these games. And again, when it comes to the championship and the team pictures, not just one team is winning this gold medal game. Basically, all 8 of them have participated on this team through the week. So consider all 8 of them part of the gold medal game. That's a nice shot. That makes it very difficult for him to pick out our shot rock and stick around for the second point.
I wasn't here for the pregame. Do they do anything with choice of rocks in this competition?
What we did for this particular finals, they flipped a coin for the hammer, and then the other team had choice of color. In the semifinal game, we were able to use ranking, so that like the winner of Pool A, when they played against second place team in Pool B, the higher ranked team got the hammer. But so like in this particular game, we were A2 and they were B2, so there was no clear-cut favorite, so that's why we went to the coin flip. And several of the other games are the same, like the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way down the line. A lot of them were the equal records, and we really, because of time restraints, I'd love to do draw shot challenges just for the experience of letting them do it, but we really don't have time to do that, because in a draw shot challenge, you would have to have them have an opportunity to throw at least one practice stone. And then like in the Worlds now, they're having 2 people throw draw shot challenges. So that means you'd be out there an extra 15 minutes just for the draw shot challenge.
I think another piece, too, that not enough of us appreciate is how much colder it is sitting in a chair for 2 hours on the ice than it is being up sweeping. And
that's a tremendous point. It really is. It's much, much colder for them.
You want to think about that part, too, that, how much is necessary when it comes to that.
I don't know all the mechanical terms and what is involved in the heating system, but when you mention that, I know you put in a new boiler or whatever it was just yesterday. The guys worked diligently for hours to get that in, but the first day we played, we had temperature out there about 45 degrees, which was very comfortable. Yesterday when they played, it was 34 degrees ice temperature, so they were absolutely freezing.
Very hard on the athletes, very hard.
Very difficult. 34 would be cold for able-bodied curlers.
Very hard, very hard. Having been the plant operator here for a number of years, you hear about it when it's not comfortable. Again, it's not hockey ice. This is a different sport.
Okay, Korea got the last ditch effort here. Got to try and draw one in, and it's gonna just kind of either go through or chip out to the open, one or the other. Yeah, it's a tough break for Korea. So they should be shaking hands after this shot here.
Oh, this is a draw for 4?
Draw for 5, it looks like. Unless there's a red rock. Oh, yeah, there's a red rock in the back
Right.
there I couldn't see. So draw for 4, yeah.
I think draw to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, again, with the comfort factor and everything else, coming off the ice and end early probably wouldn't be a bad decision. Looks like Steve's thrown just enough to get it to the house.
I think it's going to make it.
No. Still 3 would make it 11-1.
Yeah.
I think you called it correctly, Steve.
Shaking hands. Congratulations to both teams. I know that wasn't the final that Korea wanted, but they were in the finals, and that's, I tell you, nothing wrong with winning a silver medal on anything. They've had a great week. They played very, very well, and I think as Doug and Dave mentioned, Korea 1 team looks awesome over there on sheet 4, and this Korean team, they beat them face-to-face the last draw to get into this championship game. So kudos to them on that. It's a good team. All three of these Korean teams are really excellent. So nice hugs out there. Can you get the camera and the hugs? Look at that. I like that, huh? That's what makes a coach feel good right there. That's what it's all about. That's what makes you feel like you want to keep doing it for a while. Even if I am 96, Dave, I'm still going.
I think I'm older than you are, Steve. But nevertheless, I'd like to be out here at 96. I'd like to have people saying, I'm getting tired of seeing him out here. My father-in-law curled till he was
Jimmy
90.
Jam's even got some tears in his eyes. God dang it.
Yeah.
Gotta love this.
I
Again,
think
I'm going to point out one more time because I'm so thanked about this. This is just four members of the winning team. They're the 4 that played in the final game. But those other 4 over there, Megan Leno, Matt Toombs, Corey Fairbanks, and Justin Marshall were just as much a part of this. They all played, and like Megan played in half of these games, and the other guys all played in 2 or 3 of the games. So it's a nice day. I'd like to see our other USA team hang in there for a victory.
Sure. So if we do a banner shot for the wall, we'll actually have quite a few people in it. Be kind of nice. I know when I've been to the Madison Club, you've pretty much run out of wall space when it comes to championship banners.
Well,
so they're fun to see.
Yeah, they are. And they mean a lot to the people that win them. They really do. I think a lot of people don't really just know the meaning of what one of those championships mean. There's just no guarantee you're ever going to win one, no matter how hard you work at it. It's hard to win a championship. I don't care if it's just your league game on a Monday night or a Wednesday night. Club championship. It's hard to win a Bonspiel, and for some people, just to win a second or third event means the world to them. So you want to keep it all in perspective. It's just a great sport all the way around, and you just kind of play at your level. And if you play at your level and can enjoy the game and enjoy the sociability of it, there isn't a sport better than that. And I think it's the greatest couples sport ever invented, without a question. I really do.
I know a few divorce lawyers that made their living off of couples curling.
No, I just tried to say it was the greatest couple sport there was, and now you go say that. What's the matter with you?
Well, I'm lucky. My wife is a great curler, and she chooses not to skip, so it's fun for me because she doesn't want the job. But I agree with you, I have to say I enjoy mixed curling and couples curling almost more than the men's nights because it's just a lot more fun.
Yeah, it really is. It's a sport that it's eye-hand coordination, field touch, flexibility, and the women they've got all those features. So the game is very equal. About the only place you could say that the male has a little bit of advantage. Obviously, a 220-pound guy can sweep harder than a gal that weighs 110 pounds. So, and then if you got to throw a clearing shot, again, a 220-pound guy can throw a rock a heck of a lot faster or harder than a 110-pound gal. But when it comes to finesse and feel and the touch shots and the draws around guards and the sweeping, even though I said sweeping, the guy could sweep harder. The judgment is 50% of the sweeping. The power you use is 50%, but the judgment, knowing when to sweep and not to sweep and sweeping correctly, is the other 50% of that, and the gals can again do that very well. So.
Are the skips ever tempted to sweep in the house? They're actually holding curling brooms when they're.
Yeah, they're not allowed to.
Okay,
though. You're not allowed to sweep at all. So
I guess the answer is be tempted, yes.
Yeah.
Allowed, no.
Right. That's the other neat thing about. I would assume, and I think I can say emphatically, that every single wheelchair athlete out here is playing in able-bodied leagues. None of them are in a situation where they got 4 people in their club and the only curling you do is wheelchair curling. So every single member out here.
They're actually holding curling brooms when they're. Boy, I can almost hear myself think sometimes.
Can you, if we can, yeah. Who's the little girl? Is it?
My youngest daughter was her
Two. If you get him back here, I got a pin.
Okay, our gold medal game is wrapped up. Congratulations to Team USA Red. For those that might be just tuning in, there's your picture, Steve M., Patrick McDonald, Jimmy Jam, and Penny Green, I'm sorry. They are the champions and the runners-up, the silver medalists today, Team Korea. They sent 3 teams here to this spiel. So congratulations to Team Korea 2 for their silver medal in the 10th annual Wheelchair International Bonspiel. So we're going to be staying through the conclusion of all the games, and we're going to have bonus coverage for you now over on Sheet 1. Now we don't have cameras on the traditional TV line, but you can kind of see. You also can see Sheet 2 as well. So you see our scoreboard is up to date on the left-hand side of your screen. So we'll stay with the conclusion of these games. The other notable game going on right now, the bronze medal game on Sheet 4. That one is pretty much one-sided. Korea won up 8-1 through 5 ends in that game. And then our other consolation games going on. They're all Sheet 6, as you can see. Probably will be a handshake pretty soon. But tight games going on 1, 2, and 5. So we'll take you home right here on the Utica Curling Club channel to the conclusion of play.
Hi, folks. Again, Dave Palazzoli. Can't thank Doug Smith, Steve Brown enough for their fine job today. Doug's technical expertise. Every year he makes this look so simple. And, of course, as I said, Steve's curled longer than he's been alive, so his knowledge of the game, terrific. And I want you to know he wasn't taking notes during the game. He wasn't critiquing the game and taking notes for later. He was absolutely supportive, and it was wonderful to be here. I'll be checking out now. Appreciate the opportunity and everybody's efforts, and these games are great. Hope you get a chance to come down and watch. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Dave, I want to thank you too, buddy. It's always a pleasure sitting by you, beating your two wonderful grandchildren, and keep them curling. Get them curling. Absolutely. The younger, the better. Okay. Wrap up of our game over. Well, not the wrap up. We're only in the sixth end over there. Got a good game going. Again, Team USA up 4-2. Hammer advantage to the Swiss team. It's a fine Swiss team. We made a trip over to Switzerland. I guess it was probably about 6 weeks ago now. And we played against these teams over there. We played against them in the Spiel, and we actually played a couple practice games against them. And it's a fine team. They traveled over here with 6 players. So they got 4 of them over there playing right now, and that's basically their national team. And then they have 2 alternates that they're traveling with, and that's the ones that are playing on the Can-Am team. Playing with Kirk Black out of Madison, and Shauna Petrie from Ontario. They have a very good game going too. They are looks like Kirk and Shauna and the 2 Swiss pitchers are up by 1 without Hammer. Okay, let's see. Okay, the game that we got the camera featured on over there, Swiss, little wicky-wacky stuff there.
We're still sitting 1-2.
You could hear Corey Fairbanks tell him exactly what he wants, man. He wants it setting. He wants a guard. They're setting 1 and 2.
Yes.
This is Justin's last brick. Put up a guard.
And if you want to, we can take that out. Well, yeah, if you hit the stick, we're outside. That's a good.
So Korea won. Just shook hands with Korea number 2. Or excuse me, that'd be Korea number 3 team. But Korea won victorious in that game, 8-2. Getting a little revenge for losing that last game to the Korea 2 team. So USA gold medalist, but Korea 2 silver medalist, Korea 1 bronze medalist, Korea 3 4th place. Beautiful shot over there by Justin. Hit that rock right on the nose, so he stayed right in that port. Makes it very difficult for Switzerland to get in there. I don't even know what path. There's rocks spread out all the way across that entire sheet. And I don't, I'm setting behind sheet 3, so I'm looking at an angle. But boy, they don't really even have even a combination tap back that looks very feasible from here. It's going to be a very, very difficult shot for them to get one in the house. Really don't know what he's calling here, where he's got the broom. He's holding the broom right in the center line. I guess maybe he can throw a draw that would go just past that rock, just through. And he might even have backing in the rock on the far left side of the circle. Really a tough shot. I think he's on a red one. I think he's going to give us an extra point. Yeah. You see, he had to curl about another 4 inches, and he would have actually got in there for shot, but instead he tapped us in, so steal a 3. 3 big ones. Opens that game up. 7-2 through 6. You can get their little huddle there too, or maybe you can't. They do the same thing now. It's a uniform thing. They all huddle together. Got a 7-2 lead, You know, so main thing is stay in the game. Don't think the game's over. Keep your focus. What's acceptable here? We want a good clean end. We want everything in the house. We want to keep the rock, all the play in the house. If we give up a single, even if we give up a deuce, it's actually no big deal. Just don't want to end up with 2 or 3 rocks short of the house. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Megan, you won't be able to see. We can be able to see the house here, but we won't be able to see the person actually delivering the stone. Megan's ready to throw her first one, and I like what she did. You know, Justin's call was to go to the sweet spot, but he called her for an out turn. He's asking, or she's asking for an in turn, and again, that's her comfort level. That's a shot she feels most comfortable with, and she knows she's got a better chance of ducking that pretty close to that sweet spot area. That's what you should throw. So. Rock should be coming into view. It is, and that is a perfect 100 again. It's really a well-thrown stone. Great shot, Megan. Forces Switzerland. They're going to play a corner guard. No matter where that rock stops, Switzerland should have been playing a corner guard, but the nice thing about that rock is perfect, has to be dealt with. So sooner or later, they got to waste a bullet to come back and get that rock. So Justin, what's your next call? This is when you make your next call already. You know it's a corner. Corey's down there too. They can work together. They can talk about it, learn the strategy together. But regardless of where this rock goes, you know what you already got your next shot. And I would just with this lead, I just let her throw the same shot, go down and just freeze tap right on top of it, force them to say, okay, we're going to have to try and deal with it. You don't even care if they get a double.
Guard it.
So Megan said guard it. You don't really want to guard it.
I'd like that too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's beat him in.
So I heard different things. They went away from the drawdown to it. They're either throwing it through, which is good with a 7-1 lead, or 7-2 lead, 5 point. Because you got your one rock in, you don't need more. The only thing I was concerned with, I didn't want them trying to draw around that corner, but. And that's what they're trying to do. I don't like the draw. See, that rock doesn't. Potentially that rock can, with a 5 point lead, that rock can hurt you more than can help you if things really went sour. So either want to throw that one through or draw right on top of it. Switzerland goes for the double corner guard. They're down to, Switzerland's kind of down to desperation mode here. They got to go, got to gamble big, and you figure they got to score probably 3 to have a realistic chance. Even a 2-banger doesn't give them a very good chance. Justin's going to peel one of the corners. Good strong call. Like the call. Matt Toombs going to be throwing. Wausau, Wisconsin. Great guy. Let's Wish we were set up so we could show you the deliveries, but we don't have that option here. Rock is on its way, throwing a out-turn peel. Takes the rock out. This is where, again, you like the ability to really just hammer those. Throw what we consider our 13-14 weight, which is a good strong peel. That way you got a lot more margin for error. You can hit that rock a little bit fuller and still shoot across the ice. But when you throw just that normal takeout weight, you can only hit about 1.5 inches of that rock on either side to really get a peel and roll out. But without sweeping, it's a good call. I mean, a good shot. Well, it's a good call, and it's a good shot. You hit the rock, and from the point of view of just scoring as far as execution, you give him a good grade on that. Okay, Matt setting up for a second shot. Justin going to call a peel again. Okay, he's trying to hit the rock in the right thin to get the double. This is the way they're set up. This is a really tough shot. And the problem you got with this shot, if you quarter that top blue one, you're probably going to come across and tap that blue one, and you actually might tap it right in the house. Matt did pick up the weight though. I like that. So you got the inside one, so that's a good shot. Once again, he's eliminated a rock. Above theirs. Two well-thrown rocks. Can-Am team with Kirk Black and Shauna Petrie hanging on to the lead over there. They've got a 5-4 victory, or lead, I should say. I think that score has changed because they're in the 7th end here. I guess they haven't posted 6th, though. They could be tied. They could actually be behind because the other team threw first, so. Definitely do not have the lead anymore at 5-4, unless it was a blank end, but I think there was a few rocks in play. Partner.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's a bad call. Let's come this way. No, either way. Let's put up the guard, and then if we get a successful guard, then we can go after it. Yeah. We're still sitting 2, right? Yep.
Okay, Corey getting set up. He's throwing a little intern draw. I think it's kind of a draw guard, either one.
Stay right there in the middle, real nice. Stay right there, baby, right there.
I believe we're setting 1 and 2, so it's okay to throw a guard here, even when you're ahead like that. It's like a very nice rock. I don't think he has a path in there. Or Switzerland. Again, his team consists of Megan Leno from Cape Cod. What a Tony Calacio's team members from the Cape Cod Curling Club. Tony has done more for wheelchair curling and promoting it. It's been to Charlotte, He's been all over, and he's done a lot of recruiting. He's done a lot of clinics. I think he's done in Nutmeg and places like that. He's been fantastic to the program. So, Tony, I hope you're listening today. Miss you there, old buddy. But thanks for coming up for the first few days. He had another obligation, had to leave early, but he's been with us through absolutely everything. And see Tony, and we got a nice big high-performance camp out in Phoenix, Arizona. January like 6th through the 10th, I believe it is, and Tony will be out there helping as always. Great camp out in Phoenix. They do a great job for us too with their new dedicated club. Great ice. They take very good care of us. So always enjoy going out there.
Why not?
So
I think we got to come this way, though. This way, don't you?
nice shot there by Switzerland.
I think we go the other way, and then we just clip it.
The only good news is there is that he made that shot, but the good news is that, I won't say the only good news, a lot of good news with the score for Team USA, but that red rock in the back 12, that they really, I don't see that rock going away the way things are setting, so that's always going to outcount that one blue one that's up way up in the top 12 right-hand side. Corey, I think, trying to run back, unless there's a hole that I can't see from this angle.
Come on, turn.
He's trying to go through a hole. Good shot, good try. Just nicked that. Got it open, forces them to put up a guard or draw a second one in there. Okay, the Can-Am game over there, playing against Quebec teams. Quebec only got the single, so Kurt Black, Shauna Petrie, and the two Swiss team members tied up with Hammer Advantage playing 7. Love to see them pull out a victory too for our USA contingent. Kurt, big part of this program, even though he's not currently in the high performance program. He actually is in the high performance program. He's part of our high performance developmental squad, so he is part of our high performance program. He just didn't, he's not part of the final 8 at the time, but him and Pam Wilson both are considered high performance developmental athletes. They're very important to our program. Pam is our 3rd and very vital female member of the squad, and Kirk is right there with the rest of the guys. Going to be a good, solid part of this program for the next few years. So, okay, Switzerland's got a draw coming down there. Potentially could get a couple 2-3 this end. This looks like a pretty nice shot. That is a very nice shot. So they're laying 2 right now. I think they're fully exposed. Don't need a double. You got to make one of them go away. Said I'm really at a bad angle here. So you really don't care which one shot. You just want to make one of them go away. And the only concern I have is there a possibility you could hit that top blue one and jam it? Gotta make sure it doesn't slide by that other blue one that's right beside it and go back and jam. And leave that'd leave him set in the bundle, leave him set in 4. So here's a shot where you gotta have broad perspective. You'd like to get rid of one of those 1 or 2 rocks, but your number 3 rock is pretty valuable because it's all called a number 4 rock. It definitely could have. That's a good shot. It's a great shot. It's 100, but the way it went by, that angle is definitely there. So if he's If he's 2 inches wider, it could have jammed him. That's right, correct call. He had, I think that's the call to play. Again, you just wanted to be aware of the pro side going into that shot. You can't be wide. You can't do the work for them. You can't chip your rock into, or their rock into your own rock, have your shooter roll out and then jam, and all of a sudden setting them up for a really big end. So right now it's kind of back to with a couple good shots. Switzerland's got a reasonable chance at 2. They got an outside chance at 3. But Justin's also got a very, very good chance of to only allowing him to have 1 point.
Chip it that way, roll in. Or, actually right here. Because even if you corner freeze that, that's okay. Right? You just have to move it a little bit. Right? Come this way.
Switzerland trying to draw this one in there.
You just need to get in,
I think
that's
it
all.
might be a nice shot. Yeah, it is. Very nice shot.
Do you want that same side or do you want to come this
Okay, I
way?
think Justin just follows him down, plays a little takeout.
This way, if you're top 12, that's fine. Out there's okay too.
Again, you just got to be careful. Not being behind the sheet, I really can't see. I think it'd be pretty hard for them to hit that rock on the side that Corey's brush is on right now, really thin, and jam it over there. But it might be possible, but I don't know the way those rocks are set up, if you can actually hit it that thin.
What was that, 10 weight, 10, 11? All right. Just a wee bit more, just so I don't clip this front guard.
Our camera has crossed.
Looks like you should be able to get one of those out there. That's all you need. You just need one of them. Looking at the monitor now, I can see a little bit better. He's got a close. That was got a close up for me.
Oh, come on.
Don't hit it too thin. Ooh. Turned out beautiful. But man, if he wanted to curl up, I don't know if it had curled up another inch, and if he'd have missed that rock, he might have hit it thin enough to jam it. I don't know. Turned out perfect. Could be almost a handshaking shot too. Yeah, we're laying 3 on the board. If Switzerland don't get in there, we'll be shaking hands. Swiss shot coming down. Is he getting through? He got through a hole. No, he didn't. He rubbed. That's game, I think, folks. Yep, they're shaking hands. Another nice victory for our Team USA. Great bunch of Swiss folks, though. They are wonderful people. I really love going over there. They treated us very well on our trip. Great team. They'll do well. And we'll be going back to Lucerne, Switzerland for the World Championships here in February.
Good game. Thank you. Good game. Yep, Corey.
So Tim Kelly and his crew, they are the other USA team. It's Tim Kelly at skipping, Bob Preveno from Utica playing second, Mark Taylor. Actually, Bob might be playing third, Mark Taylor. And Pam Wilson. done playing some good games, and they're winning this game over the USA Veterans. Again, the USA Veterans are a very new team, but gotta love their enthusiasm, what they've done this week. Actually, if you go to 5, it'd be best. Yeah. Okay. Doug is trying to get me up to sheet 5 over there. Asking Doug Smith to pull off miracles here today, man. We got him going from sheet 3 to sheet 1 to sheet 5. Send in those donations. He's only about $200,000 short of equipment to cover all 6 sheets. Thanks again, Doug, for everything you did. That's fantastic. Yep. So Shauna lining up here. Again, tie ball game. Can-Am team. Kirk Black, Shauna Petrie, 2 Swiss team members playing against a fine Quebec team. And it's tied up. And Can-Am has Hammer Rock here. So Shot Rock, they're going after Shot Rock here. She'd like to get a little hit and flip all the way to the center line button area. The one blue rock is just touching the stones. The red one is not. Got a lazy handle, but from this angle, I think she's got it. Does get the rock out of play, so now blue has Shot Rock. Going under the assumption that one blue one is just fairly touching. You don't know the camera angles. The overheads, where they're setting, sometimes it makes a rock that's not off, that's not on the circles on. But he is chasing it, so I think that means it's on. If he can hit that blue rock just a little bit on the left-hand side of center, it'll go over and kiss that red one in. If he hits it on the nose, there will be nothing in. Then Kirk's got to make a decision. Does he draw for 1, takes a 1-point home lead coming home without hammer? Or does he blank the end, maintain the hammer coming home? Ooh, threw that hard. Might have the angle. Yes, he did. Just enough to squirt it in for shot. Main thing is to make this go away. If he hits and rolls in, gets his point, it's not all bad coming home. If he hits it on the nose, he'll have hammer coming home. The able-bodied curling, they would clearly 100% of the time try and blank this end. With the wheelchair curling, without the benefit of the sweeping and without the benefit of being able to throw the heavy peels, a lot of times the philosophy is any point you can put on the scoreboard is beneficial a lot of times. And a team coming home 1 ahead without hammer probably has a 50, 60, 40% chance, maybe higher, 70% chance of winning the game, whereas an able-bodied went up without, it's a lot closer to the 50-50 thing. Kirk lining up, playing intern takeout. Had a good week, and like I said, against our gold medal winning team, Kirk took them down. Played an outstanding game against Team USA. I think he's going to hit and roll in for a single. Yes, he does. Okay, it's a good shot. Okay, coming home. Oh, I'm wrong. There's more rocks over there. You got one apiece. Yeah, that was just it. Yeah, that was just the skip's first stones. I'm sorry, folks. So many wheelchairs sitting out there with my angle that I could not see that there was a couple stones over there that hadn't been played. Yeah, this is right. So they're playing the 7th, yeah. He does. Blue's got hammer, yeah.
Okay, that's how I had it right.
Yeah. Actually, our game over here on sheet 2, Quebec throwing the final stone of the game. Right now, they are 1 point down with hammer, and he's got a draw for 2 for the win. And I think he's coming up well short. Why is he shaking? It's a tie game, I believe. Yeah. Okay, Quebec successfully hit Can-Am rock that was in the 12-foot. Pretty sure that that's just biting circles. So once again, Kirk hit that in the nose. This one's a little tight. He's got to get by the top red one. I don't know. He did. And I think they kept him out of the house, so he maintains a hammer. They're going to play a full extra end over there. We didn't, I don't know if we had a contingency plan here, Doug. I don't know. We could have had, we could play the extra end. We could have played a 4-rock extra end, or you could have did a draw shot challenge having 2 people. But this is good. People come to curl, and that's what we like about this field. We always try and get a lot of games in. The big motto with all these wheelchair athletes is, They might be disabled, but they are not handicapped, and believe me, they want to curl. And you know, people sometimes pamper to them way too much and say, you know, hey, we can only have so many draws a day. You get cold. You talk to the athletes, man. The more ice time they can get, they want to keep curling. And some of these teams, even if they're down, mathematically eliminated, they say, can we please play another end? Because every time we get to throw a rock, it's one more end of experience. So you gotta love their attitude and enthusiasm. Okay. Okay. We are back on. Testing. Yep. Okay. Hammer advantage for Can-Am over there. Quebec team's first rock was a hog, so they wanted that first one in the free guard zone. Came up a little bit short. Can-Am lead with their rock in the. You want to go to the house? Oh, you got her now. Okay, that's good. Oh, you can do both ways. Okay. Doug's got to educate me here to what he can do and what he can't do, and so leads second stone here for Can-Am. So where he held the broom, it looked like he was actually trying like a corner guard or something, but without hammer, really want to play a center guard. Second stone here for Can-Am. Lead second stone. He's still playing a draw, probably right into the sweet spot.
We want to thank Steve Brown so much for doing the commentary today, and we wish all the wheelchair curlers a safe trip home. Some of the USA teams are getting ready to leave, so my name is Doug Smith. I'll take you home for this tie game over on Sheet 5, bonus coverage. We don't have cameras on the center line on Sheet 5, so bear with us, but you can see what's going on. Looks like red is Shot Rock, Lennoxville in the Quebec area. And we have an extra end being played on Sheet 2, so in the Quebec-Ottawa matchup. It's a nice shot, but the jam in play there. Red still sits one. That guard you see not covering anything, that's over more of a corner guard. The bonus coverage, if you're joining us just now, our gold medal game wrapping up about 45 minutes ago. The USA Red Squad victorious over the Korea 2. Bronze game, the Korea sending 3 teams here this week. They were victorious. Korea 1 finished top of their round robin. They played the crossover games. First place in Pool A, played second place in Pool B, and so on, staggered down. First place in Pool B playing Pool A, second place in Pool A, and so on, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this is the final draw of the event, the 10th annual playing of the U.S. Open International Wheelchair Bonspiel. So we'll kind of multitask here. We can show you the house going on sheet 2. There you go. Ottawa throwing blue stones with a hammer. I think we have this backwards, actually. Yeah, no, that's actually correct. Sorry about that. Colors are correct. Glinda Joseph, the skip of the Ottawa team, our champions from last year. "12 teams here this year. Scottish team, Russian team. I think we had a team from Slovakia here last year. Did not attend this year, but still playing actively. And this year we had Switzerland joining us for the International Spiel. So the event is definitely strong, and we look forward to future playings of this great event here in Utica to kick off our broadcasting season. Red is the shot rock. Page down, we have, I think we're in the second stones here. It's a combined team. Canada, America, and Switzerland. Shauna Petrie, Kirk Black, Marcel Bodeman, and Hans Bergener. The roster. It's like an intern attempt here to, it's going to be on the guard. I believe he's going to remove that red stone. So we'll quickly go over to sheet 2, give you a little view of the house. There's a lot of guards in play there. Red, obviously the shot rock. Back over to sheet 5. Guard attempt being thrown here. It's over curling. And it did not make the hog line. So be a very interesting end setting up. Stone is underway. It'll be coming into view in just a second. Looking to remove the shot rock. Looks like it might catch an edge. No, it's just going to flash on by. Second by Stone coming up. Guard attempt being thrown by the Lennoxville squad. A little heavy. Starting to come in. It's going to over curl. The out turn guard attempt. It's going to over curl and leave the wide open takeout for the Can-Am Switzerland combined squad. We'll quickly cut over to sheet 2. There's a house view. Kalinda Joseph to skip here. Only 3 rocks remaining in this game. That red stone is wide open, as I mentioned before. There were a lot of guards out front. This one's over curling. It looks like it's going to get a piece, though. Otto with a hammer here now, sitting 3. So this could be the last stone of the end. Quickly back to sheet 5. Takeout attempt. It's good. Now blue sitting is a shot rock now. And I'm not behind sheet 5, but it looks like that's buried behind that corner guard pretty well. So we'll get you the last stone over on sheet number 2. So there is a lot of center line guards out in front of the house. You're seeing the house, so there certainly is an opportunity for Quebec to draw behind the cover. Top 4 foot is what he's looking at. Stone is underway. Line looks pretty good. All about the weight. It's over curling though. Looks like it's going to wreck, or is it going to sweep? Ooh, it's going. Dust ticked it, and falls short of the ring. So congratulations to the Ottawa rink again, our defending champions, victorious in this game by a score of 7-4. Back to sheet 5. Okay, red now with shot rocks. So all 5 of the 6 games are complete, just waiting for the conclusion of this game here, one of our consolation games for the event. I believe this is for 7th place. Just checking that. Well, it's the pool 3-4 games. So this is for the 5th place. Let's see the delivery. I believe this is, are we in skip stones? I apologize. That view is a little blocked. Yes, we are. So this is the first skip stone. Playing to take out on the red shot rock. And successfully removes it. Two stones left to play here. Red needs to be shot or this game is over. That was a very nice shot. Nose hit. Okay, you can hear on our ice shed mic. Has to stay in the rings. This is the last stone, end number 8. You see that red biter at about the 12 o'clock position. Is it too wide? There's a lot of weight being thrown here. I think that's going to go right by. And Lennoxville will win the game by a score of 6-5. So that's it. All 6 games in the books now. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Please join us next time on the Utica Curling Club channel for the Murray Bonspiel. The Men's Club Championship will be coming up Sunday at 11 o'clock. So we hope you enjoyed it. For Steve Brown, Dave Palazzoli, my name is Doug Smith. We'll see you next time live on the Utica Curling Club channel. Take care, everybody.